Hello everybody, this is Sonic the Gamer here, and today we are playing the Stanley Parable. I've seen lots of people play this game, and in my opinion I think this game is actually quite interesting. I see how there's the different endings and all that, so let's begin. Alright, just gotta wait for it to load and we can get straight into it. Oh no, it's not responding. Please don't crash on me. Okay, good. There we go. Alright. The game begin.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
I want to be happy if I got a job like that.
And then
Awful.
one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm just gonna follow this through the story, to do the narrator's saying, and then later on we'll mess with him.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, narrator guy. Whatever you say.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, left the door. In we go.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office,
For not being
hoping he
hired.
might find an answer
Fired.
there.
Alright, let's go. It's all strange to do. Core values. I don't even know what the heck that means. Broom closet. We're not gonna go in the broom closet. But we're gonna do that once we do this.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright, up to the boss's office. Let's go. Do this. I'm ready. I am ready, Freddy. Nobody's even in here.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly
typed in what you
opened
said.
passageway.
What oh, that passageway. Oh, it's weird. What's going on? Okay, let's go down this way then. Alright. Hold on a second. Oh, dang it. Okay, there it goes. How do I turn on my my TV.
Descending
you guys
deeper into the
might
building,
hear it.
Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Oh, I see.
Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh, what the heck is this place?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yeah, let's go to this mind control facility. We'll do that later. There's a mind control facility. This is weird. I push this.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
This game looks interesting already. Wow. Oh, cameras.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Like, there's my room in there. I was trying to look for it, but I couldn't find it in there. Jeez. What's this?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Controls idle awaiting input. Wait a minute. System power. Turning it off. What did happen? It's getting weird.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
That was awesome. I have beaten the game, but there are still more things to unfold in this game. And my friend is trying to call me, but I'm recording, so I can't really answer right now. Well, that was the end of, well, not the end of Stanley Parable, it was one of the endings. And if you guys enjoyed it, be sure to leave a comment below, and if you want to see more, then leave a comment about it, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.